Hi Cambridge class, this is your third lesson this week and we are going to be applying what we learnt about multiplying and dividing by 10, 100 and 1000 for converting between units, and we're going to be looking at length. Can you think of any metric units of length to start with? I'll give you a clue. Metric is different to imperial, and imperial units of length include inches, yards and feet. Can you think of some metric units of length? Pause the video while you think of these. So we've got metre, centimetre, millimetre and kilometre. What is the shortened version of these units of measurement? How would you write them in a quicker way? Pause the video while you think. So metre, a quicker way is to write a m. Kilometre, we've got a km. Centimetre is a cm. And millimetre is mm. Can you order them from smallest to largest? What's the smallest unit of measurement here? At school you have millimetres and centimetres on your ruler. Think about which is the smallest one. So millimetre is the smallest, centimetre is second, metre is third, and then a kilometre is the biggest. There are 1,000 kilometres in 1 metre. Think about a metre stick at school. 1 metre has got 100 centimetres on it. How many millimetres are in a centimetre? Is it 10? Is it 100? Or is it 1,000? The answer is 10. So here we've got a picture of a scale, and you might see something like this at school. On your ruler at school you have got millimetres on one side and centimetres on the other, and your millimetres are really small. You have got 10 little lines on your ruler and they're all millimetres, and it goes right up, so you've got 10 millimetres in 1 centimetre. So millimetres are smaller than centimetres, so there are more of them in the same length. There's 10 of these little lines in 1 centimetre. There are 10 times more millimetres in the same length than centimetres. What do you notice about the millimetre number compared to the centimetre number? So we've got 10 for the millimetres, 1 for the centimetres. 20 for the millimetres is the same as 2 for the centimetres. What do you notice? The millimetre number is 10 times bigger than the centimetres number. To get from the centimetres number, you multiply it by 10 to get the same distance in millimetres. So when converting from centimetres to millimetres, you need to multiply the centimetre number by what? By 10. So you've got to multiply the centimetre number by 10 to get the millimetre number. Centimetre number is 1 times by 10, you're going to get 10. If the centimetre number is 5 and you turn it into millimetres, it's going to be 50 millimetres. Work out the answer to each of these questions. So 7 centimetres equals 70 millimetres. Oops. 9 centimetres multiplied by 10 equals 90 millimetres. And 11 centimetres multiplied by 10 is 110 millimetres. Well done if you got those right. Now can we order these objects? Some of them are written in millimetres and some of them have been written in centimetres. What do we need to do to help us order the objects? What's the first thing we need to do? Because some of them are in centimetres and some of them are in millimetres. So we have to turn them into the same unit of measurement. Either put them all in millimetres or put them all in centimetres. I'm going to put them all in millimetres because that means we can times some of the numbers by 10. which is sometimes a bit easier than dividing the numbers by 10. They've got to be in order from longest to shortest. So that's already in millimetres, we can leave that. We want to turn 28 centimetres into millimetres. Now don't forget, 1 centimetre equals 10 millimetres. So my millimetres number has got to be 10 times bigger than my centimetres number. If that's 28 centimetres, it's times that by 10 to get my millimetres number. And then my cricket bat is 60 centimetres. I need to multiply that by 10 to get my millimetres number. So what is 28 times by 10? 28 times by 10 equals 280 centimetres. What is 60 multiplied by 10? That is 600 millimetres. So now I can order them easier. Shoe is 280 millimetres. Cricket bat is 600 millimetres. We've got to order them from longest to shortest. What's the longest number? 600, 30, 280, 150 or 125? Pause the video while you put them in order. So first we change the measurement into the same unit. We can convert the centimetres into millimetres by multiplying by 10. Number 1 is the paperclip. Oh, sorry, longest first. So number 1 is the cricket bat. My next biggest number is the shoe. So the shoe is number 2. Got 150, 125 or 30. So 150 is my number 3. 125 is my number 4. And my paperclip is the smallest. So longest, cricket bat, shortest, paperclip. Millimetres and centimetres. Here are some of the items that Lydia has in her pencil case. Some of the measurements are given in centimetres, some are in millimetres and some are in both. Order the items by length from shortest this time to longest. So just like before, we don't want different units of measurement. We want them all to be the same. So turn them all into millimetres first and then you can order them. Pause the video while you put them in order from shortest to longest. So a ruler is 19 centimetres. To get from centimetres to millimetres, we multiply by 10. That's 190 millimetres. My sharpener is 20 millimetres already. My pencil is 170 already. Let's look at these two. This is measured in centimetres and millimetres. 10 centimetres is the same as 100 millimetres, and that's already in millimetres. So it's 108 millimetres. A rubber is 3 centimetres, 5 millimetres. 3 centimetres is 30 millimetres plus 5 is 35 millimetres. Now let's put them in order from shortest to longest. So we've got 190, 108, 20, 35 and 170. So 20 is the shortest. It says order the items. I'm going to put sharpener. Next is the rubber. So I've got 108, 170, 190. So 108 is next, that's the pen. 170, that's the pencil. And the longest one is the ruler. Well done if you got those right. Converting millimetres to centimetres. So to convert from millimetres to centimetres, we use the inverse operation. It's the opposite way. And we divide the number of millimetres by 10 because our centimetres number is 10 times smaller than our millimetres number. So 70 millimetres divided by 10 gives us 7 centimetres. If you end up with a decimal number, we're going to just turn it into centimetres and millimetres for today. So 125 millimetres divided by 10 is actually 12.5. But we're going to call that 12 centimetres and 5 millimetres. Oops, jumped. Convert these measurements into centimetres and millimetres by dividing by 10. 2 examples are done for you. So our millimetres number is 10 times bigger than our centimetres number, so 70 divided by 10 is 7. 45 divided by 10 is actually 4.5, but we call that 4 centimetres and 5 millimetres. Pause the video while you divide these measurements by 10. So 40 divided by 10 is 4, so it's 4 centimetres. 120 divided by 10 is 12, so it's 12 centimetres. 35 divided by 10 is 3.5, we've got to call that 3 centimetres, 5 millimetres. 65 divided by 10 is 6.5, but we call it 6 centimetres, 5 millimetres. 135 divided by 10 is 13.5, but you call that 13 centimetres, 5 millimetres. 45 divided by 10 is 4 centimetres, 5 millimetres. 25 divided by 10 is 2 centimetres, 5 millimetres. Well done if you got those right. Now moving on, how many centimetres are in a metre? Sometimes we have metre sticks out in class. How many little centimetres are in that 1 metre? Is it 10, 100 or 1,000? It is 100. A clue is century, centimetre, century. There's 100 years in a century. There's 100 centimetres in a metre. So there are 100 centimetres on a metre stick. 100 centimetres is the same as 1 metre. What do you notice about the centimetre number compared to the metre number? The centimetre number is 100 times bigger than the metre number. Centimetres are smaller than metres, so there are more of them in the same length. There are 100 times more centimetres in the same length than metres. So when converting from metres to centimetres, you need to multiply the metre number by what? When converting from metres to centimetres, you multiply the metre number, in this case 1, by what to get the centimetre number, which in this case is 100. You multiply the metre number by 100 to get the centimetre number. So 6 multiplied by 100 equals 600 centimetres. So 6 metres is the same as 600 centimetres. Complete the last two. So 8 metres multiplied by 100 equals 800 centimetres. 12 times 100 equals 1,200. So 6 metres is the same as 600 centimetres. 12 metres is the same as 1,200 centimetres. Converting from centimetres to metres this time, you do the inverse. So you divide the number of centimetres by 100. 500 centimetres divided by 100 is the same as 5 metres. 500 centimetres is the same as 5 metres. If this creates a decimal number, like this below, we don't say 2.5 at this stage, we just call this bit centimetres and this bit metres. So 250 centimetres divided by 100 is actually the same as 2.5, but we're saying it's the 2 is 2 metres and the 50 is 50 centimetres. So use that to fill in the box. A group of children jumped in a long jump competition. Change the measurement of how far each child jumped into metres and centimetres. The first one is done for you. Is it? It's not, is it? So Leandra, she jumps 230 centimetres. To turn centimetres into metres and centimetres, we divide by 100. 200s becomes 2 ones. And the 30 actually goes after the decimal point. So it actually looks like 2.30 or 2.3. But 2.30 is going to help us here. What you write down is 2 metres and 30 centimetres. So that's just to help you think about it. 450 divided by 100 equals 4.50, which is the same as 4 metres and 50 centimetres. Pause the video while you complete the last 4. So 265 divided by 100 is 2.65, and that is the same as 2 metres and 65 centimetres. 290 divided by 100 is 2.90. That's the same as 2 metres 90 centimetres. 490 divided by 100 is 4.90, so that's 4 metres and 90 centimetres. 523 divided by 100 is 5.23, and that is 5 metres and 23 centimetres. Write the children's names in order of how far they jumped, from the furthest, the biggest amount, to the shortest. So you're writing their names in order, from the biggest amount to the smallest amount. Pause the video while you do this. So the biggest amount, we can look at either column. I'm going to look at centimetres this time. So my biggest number is 523, and that is Carter. So Carter jumped the furthest. My next number is 490, and that's Ben. My next number is 450, and that is Petra. The next number is 290, and that is Tazwia. Then I've got to compare 230 and 265. So 265 is bigger. Alaya, and then Leandra she jumped the shortest distance. Well done if you got those right. Okay, speed check now. You've got to answer these questions as quickly as possible. And this is our last challenge for the day. So remember, to go from centimetres to millimetres, you multiply your number by 10. To get from millimetres to centimetres, you divide your millimetre number by 10 to get your centimetre number. To convert from metres to centimetres, you multiply your metres number by 100 to get your centimetres number. And to convert from centimetres to metres, you divide your centimetre number by 100 to get your metre number. You have got 2 minutes. What I suggest you do is just write the answer to each one going down. So you've got 20 questions to answer. Off you go. 1 minute left. Two, one. Okay, let's see if you've got them right then. So to go from centimetres to millimetres, we multiply the number by 10. So 4 times 10 is 40. 7 times 10 is 70. 5 times 10 is 50. 3 times 10 is 30. 8 times 10 is 80. Well done if you got those right. To go from millimetres to centimetres, we divide the number by 10. 50 divided by 10 is 5, 30 divided by 10 is 3, 90 divided by 10 is 9, 80 divided by 10 is 8, 10 divided by 10 is 1. To go from metres to centimetres, we multiply the number by 100. 3 times 100 is 300, 8 times 100 is 800, 5 times 100 is 500, 10 times 100 is 1000, 1 times 100 is 100. And the last column, from centimetres to metres, you divide by 100. 400 divided by 100 is 4. 300 divided by 100 is 3. 700 divided by 100 is 7. 200 divided by 100 is 2. And 1000 divided by 100 is 10. Well done if you got 20 out of 20. See you tomorrow for our final maths lesson this week.